Hi, I'm George Long,
I'm Andrew Cohen.
and welcome to Two Broke Sophomores.
Today on the show, we have Ellie Bonifant. You want to introduce Ellie Bonifant, George?
Yeah, Ellie Bonifant is the writer, director, and creator of the Haunted Hour podcast, the award-winning podcast, I might add.
From the Ebby Awards, right?
Yes, the Effie Awards, which is an award hosted at Emerson College. It won Outstanding Podcast.
In where? In the Boston area, right?
Yeah, it's in the Boston area.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, it's a really amazing podcast. You should check it out now. Before we get to that, how was your week, George?
It was pretty good. I haven't done much, just, kind of starting to get ready to go back to college because summer's ending.
Yeah, no, I feel it too. I've been watching. I just been sitting at home watching Justified.
Oh, how's that been? I've heard it's good.
It's a good show. I highly recommend it for anyone out there who loves Timothy Oliphant. He's in it.
He's a great actor.
He's really great.
I love him in Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh yeah, I love that show so much.
That got canceled though.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with Netflix because of the fact that they'll renew shows that I absolutely love, like Big Mouth. They just renewed for 3 more seasons, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
But then they'll cancel things like Santa Clarita Diet, and it's like, no, why?
Yeah, well, it's because of their 3-season thing.
Yeah, and it's like, why can't you just do that? Why? It's like, can't you do that to new series and just let people give them 1 more season to finish? And then
Yeah.
So when comedies are going to Netflix, they're like, okay, we got 3 seasons. Let's bang this out and let's pace it correctly. So in 3 seasons, it feels like it ended.
Yeah, honestly, because that was the worst part about that. Like the Santa Clarita Diet, there was such a tease,
Yeah, no, that's a shame. What else happened to me? I figured out my birthday's on the 18th of August.
Yeah.
And I figured out we're going into the city to see some jazz.
Nice.
At this place called the Blue Note, and then going out to dinner for some barbecue. So
jazz is nice. And barbecue's good. I like barbecue.
Yeah, barbecue's always good. Our next guest, today we have Ellie Bonifant. Next week we will have.
We have some people from. We have Karthik and Zach from the Lost Sun. They're going to talk to us about their upcoming project and what they want to do with it. Karthik is the producer, and then Zach is co-director, and I believe he's worked on the screenplay a bit.
Okay, and we're having both of them, right?
Yes, both of them have said they're coming on. Worst case, it'll just be Karthik, but as of right now, both of them have said they will come on.
Okay, yeah, that's great. I'm really excited for that. Thank you guys very much for tuning in to this first episode. We're really excited about this interview. We're very happy with how it went. It's a very fun interview.
Yeah.
Remember to follow Two Broke Podcast on Twitter and on Instagram, and make sure to look out for the Haunted Hour Season 3 or Part 3.
Yeah,
right?
Part 3.
Part 3 coming out, which George is starring in. Are you in?
I'm in Part 3. I'm not starring in it because it's the same. It's an ensemble show.
Okay, so you're part of the ensemble.
Yes, I am. But it should be coming out this fall.
Okay, this
fall.
So
you can expect that soon.
Yeah, subscribe to the Haunted Hour podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you get podcasts. And first things first, though, you subscribe to this podcast, Two Broke Sophomores, on Apple Podcasts now and Spotify. We're on Spotify too, and we'll be in a few other places soon, and we'll announce that at the next show. But stay tuned for those interviews we have coming up. And without further ado, our conversation with Ellie Bonifant. Enjoy.
Yep, enjoy.
welcome to the show, Ellie.
Hello, happy to be here.
Yeah, it's great having you.
So yeah, let's get started. So you're known in Emerson, the Emerson area, for creating the Haunted Hour podcast.
Yeah, I sure did create it.
You did. You wrote and directed it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just joking. I don't know if I'm known for that, but yeah.
Well, you're also known for your band as well, Steak Dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steak is. I mean, where did that name come from? Let's. How about we start with.
Oh, we're going to Steak Dinner first. Yeah, we're moving from Haunted Hour to Steak Dinner.
Yeah. This is going to move around in a lot of different directions, so just bear with us.
Cool. Yeah. Totally, don't worry about it. Yeah. So Steak Dinner was actually a comic I wrote in high school. It's STAKE, so like vampire steak. But I had written this comic in high school, and I was in a band called Vampire Braces, and then I realized that the fictional band name Steak Dinner was better than my actual band name for like a Halloween punk project, so it became that.
Okay. And what do you play in the band?
I write the songs, so I do like vocals and lead guitar usually, vocals and rhythm guitar. Just kidding.
Rhythm guitar. You're not. Did you ever try lead, or was not in the cards?
I play lead guitar in other bands, but as far as like singing while playing goes, it's like a little bit easier just to do rhythm.
Yeah. No. I play guitar. I've tried lead. I'm not in any bands. I'm not good enough. But yeah.
I used to play guitar as well.
When did you play guitar, George?
I have a classical guitar made in Spain.
Oh.
That I played in middle school. Yeah, because when I was learning guitar, I lived in Europe, so it wasn't really exotic. But now it's an exotic guitar.
Nice.
That's cool.
My pro tip, if you feel like you're not like good enough to be in a band at playing guitar, but you want to be, is start your own band, because that's what I did, and I like can secretly get better at guitar while also not like being in someone else's project.
That's definitely a way to do it. If you're not good enough for someone else, just start your own thing.
Yeah, it's a good step.
I literally like people will come in to the band a lot because for a while we had like a kind of rotating cast of people who would be like on drums or bass or whatever, and I'd be like, just like, improvise, do your thing. Like we don't have like a set like bass line, like it's whatever. And it would be me secretly being like, I don't know what to tell you, I don't know musical theory, just like do whatever so I don't have to explain it and expose myself.
Is your band a bunch of potheads? Because you're like, do whatever, man, do whatever. We don't have a bass line, man. That's how it's coming off.
Since this will probably be accessible in states in which pot is not legal, I'm gonna say no.
No, okay.
Or no comment.
I just thought I'd pop the question because it was the attitude you used with the band. You were just like, we're just doing our own thing, man.
It's all an elaborate ruse, you know?
And I want to ask you, so when I was listening to it, the production quality, for a second I was listening to it and I was like, okay, this is bad production quality. But then I realized it was on purpose. It was made to sound like it was some sort of like hidden camera, hidden voice thing. I was like, oh wait, that's on purpose. That's really good. So how do you create those effects?
So we actually have a whole team on the production side. So our current audio editor is Chad Costa. He like does all the sound design, edits the episodes together, kind of like makes a cohesive piece of all our recording that we do. And then Danny Baltazar records our audio like actually in the recording sessions. So yeah, it's not me doing that because my audio skills are lackluster. I can make a mic record, but it's been really nice to be able to collaborate with folks who like that's their main focus in college because they're like so talented. Like Henry, who used to edit it for episodes 1 through 4, is like incredible, and then Chad is also incredible. He's staying on with us for episodes 5 through the next 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really impressive actually what they do. Like when I'm listening to it, because obviously like I see the script, so I'm reading it, and sometimes I imagine stuff. I'm like, how's this gonna sound when it comes out in the end? And it always comes out sounding amazing and great.
Yeah.
So
oh my gosh,
it's impressive.
Yeah, they're so
how they do
incredible.
it.
Like really, the first time I listened through it, I definitely cried. So that's kind of the vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, it's. I guess it feels like this thing where it's like you put in so much effort to create something, and then when it's all done and being released, and you hear it, and it looks amazing, it sounds amazing. It's like it can get to a very emotional moment. I could probably guess.
Oh, definitely. It's been cool. So I, for the last couple episodes of the Haunted Hour, when it was airing live, I interviewed podcasters who from both like more indie podcasts and then more like production studio kind of like, I'm trying to think of the way to say this that's like correct. Indie and non-indie podcasts basically. And it was like really interesting to hear kind of the level of collaboration between like who's doing the sound design, who's doing the sound editing, and like what you're expecting when it comes out. Because I feel like with the Haunted Hour, at least, I'm kind of like there for every step of production, except for that like final sound design moment, because that'll be like Chad like working through a Friday and then sending me drafts throughout the day. So it's like really, really cool to kind of, it's no surprises up until that. And then when the sound design comes out, I'm like, oh, this is so sick. Like I get so excited every time.
And this is all just volunteer for free, just like guys just love doing this, I'm guessing, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's something to put on a resume.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
so it's definitely on a volunteer basis right now. We have opportunities in the future where it could potentially become something that's like for profit, but for right now it's like, I don't know, it's something really fun, and it's a good way for all of us to kind of flex our creative muscles outside of class. Because like there's a lot of rigid creativity at Emerson, like structured for class, and it's nice to kind of have this separate project that we can put a lot of time into.
Yeah, you don't want to be like in like the Social Network where they're talking about ads, and they're talking about, and these like Mark Zuckerberg doesn't want to do ads. He's like, because ads aren't cool. Like, is that kind of your? Is that sort of the attitude of it? Yeah.
Not necessarily. I'm not like anti-ads per se. Part of it is that we want to do it in such a way that we're compensating like our musical acts, our actors, our producers. Since there's so many people involved in production, we want to make sure that we're compensating in a way that's fair. And we have like contracts. So it's been our producer named Zoe Eicher has been like drafting contracts over the summer, and that's kind of one of the projects that we're working on for next semester. Because like, I don't know, if we were to do ads and kind of earn money through that, we could put that back into the production quality and kind of the amount of time we're able to spend on it, which would be cool. So I'm not opposed to ads, but we want to do it right if we're making an income from it.
Yeah, of course.
That's definitely a good idea.
Yeah,
Make
for sure. George as an actor, yeah.
Yeah. Do ads. I want money.
Oh, hey, listen. I mean, this podcast is called Two Broke Sophomores.
Yeah. That's hopefully.
I'm just broke.
The evolution of this podcast is hopefully it gets to Two Broke Juniors, Two Broke Seniors, Two Broke, I guess, what do we do, buddies?
I don't even know. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Rolling in it.
Yeah, or hopefully it turns into Two Rich, whatever it is. That's
if it turns into two 20-somethings rolling in it, I'd be very happy.
Two 20-somethings.
That's like the dream.
That, I'd just be like, I'm done. I'm retiring early. I've earned all the money I need.
You walk down Hollywood Boulevard, nobody's paying attention, but you're like, no autographs. Don't.
Oh my God.
Come on. No autographs.
Everyone's just wondering who this crazy homeless guy is.
Exactly. Yeah, but
like a big goal is to like usurp Henry Winkler on the Emerson Notable Alum page.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Did he go to Emerson?
And Jay Leno.
He did.
Really?
Yes, and Jay Leno.
And Bill Burr.
Henry Winkler. Oh yeah, Bill Burr.
I love Bill Burr so much.
Oh, he went to Emerson?
Yeah, he did. He's one of the reasons why Emerson has the comedy program.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Really?
Yeah.
Because actually, there was two schools. I'm transferring schools, and there was only two schools I was thinking about. It was either Columbia College Chicago or Emerson.
Oh, yeah, those are like the two for comedy, right?
Yeah, I'm a comedy major.
Yeah, those are the only two.
And Emerson was just 60,000, and I think that's I just couldn't. I got a scholarship by Columbia, so that was kind of I almost went to Emerson, but yeah.
Word.
Not the most affordable.
Yeah,
school.
I was stuck between a college in the middle of nowhere in Portland, Oregon. Not middle of nowhere, but like, out of the city in Portland, Oregon. Or one in, the middle of Boston that was like fully about creative writing. The other one had 2 creative writing professors, and I was like, if I'm like gonna go all in, I ought to go all in,
Yeah, but one thing I wanted to talk to you about is actually the music. The theme, if you're listening to this and you haven't listened to The Haunted Hour, go check it out just for the theme. I'm telling you that theme...
I mean, if you want to talk to the guy who wrote it, he's in my house right now.
I love the theme so much. Because few things have good themes. Like, when I watch anything or listen to anything, one thing I'm like, come on, is the theme going to be good? And the theme was very, very good. I have to say.
The kind of funny backstory to the theme is that my best friend's boyfriend wrote it. He's part of a band called The Roughs, and he wrote it like very early into their relationship, and like kind of texted me, and he had done it just kind of all of his own accord, and it was like, oh, I wrote this theme, like you totally don't have to use it. And in my head I was like, oh shit, like if it sucks, like I'm gonna have to use it because like they're dating and it's like a whole thing. And then I heard it and it was awesome, and I was like, everybody wins, this is awesome.
Yeah, but it was the music that you used was really great. I'm excited to see what music you have next semester. I'm all in it now. I loved it, honestly. It was I was telling you before the break, there were certain characters I absolutely loved. I loved George's character. Charlie, he was very funny. And I loved Danica.
He's a fun character.
Yeah. How did you go about sort of playing that character, George? Just kind of wondering.
What, Charlie?
Yeah.
Because I definitely didn't play Danica.
No, you definitely didn't
You
play Danica.
wish.
We'll go into Danica. We're going to have a long talk about Danica.
Yeah, there's going to be a segment of this just devoted to Danica.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Lucy Ersbaumer is incredible, the girl who plays Danica. That was the hardest character to cast.
Really?
Yeah, we had probably 30 people who tried out to be Danica. And it was
really?
like,
I didn't even know that.
So
That's a lot.
Yeah, isn't that wild? It was 30 for Danica and I think 40 for Sally total.
Really?
Some of those overlap, but not all of them. But yeah, everybody took it in a really different direction, and I think just Lucy's voice as Danica was my favorite, and she's continued to be just incredible in the role.
Yeah, I want more Danica, because she's the only one in the series who cares about the environment. I mean, she's the only one. She's the only one who's probably doesn't use plastic bags anymore.
No straws for Danica.
No straws, exactly. She's very environmentally conscious. She's talking about the real issues.
Yeah, she's a great character on the show. She provides like a nice levity as well.
Yeah,
true.
She's a bit of a distraction from the main plot, but also provides to it a tiny bit. But just
if you haven't listened to The Haunted Hour, listen just for Danica. I am telling you, she's amazing. But what inspired The Haunted Hour? Because you wrote it. It was all you, right? So what kind of inspired it?
So there are like two main things that I think about when I like think about, I guess, what inspired the show. The first was there's like years ago there was this like Tumblr post I came across that was this guy talking about all these sort of haunted things in his hometown. Like there was a movie theater that was, oh my gosh, I think the front lobby was just this pit into darkness, and there was like a single plank of wood going across the pit. And I was like, man, like that's really cool. Like thinking about a space there, like I wonder what would live in that pit, or like I would wonder what would live under this like high school with an abandoned pool. And kind of like from there, like the abandoned pool was inspired by that post, and like kind of spiraled off in my head thinking about like who would go down there, like who's interested in living in this town, what kind of things would be there. So it's something I've been developing for I guess 3 years now.
Really?
I've been working on the show. And then the second thing was I really like the idea of like kind of this other life you occupy during the summer, which is like when you have your summer job if you're in high school. And this kind of like working late at night, I would like be really spooked coming out of my job, and it just felt so different than my life at other times. And I was like, I wonder if like a bunch of teens living in this kind of eerie town with their summer jobs would what they would encounter, what that would be like. And so thus Eisenhower's and the Moose Lodge, which you'll see in season 3, were born.
Yeah. Did you sort of compare yourself to Sally, I guess, at some point, wanting to learn? Because I guess you just said you wanted to learn about the interesting things of your town, and she's sort of obsessed with this monster log, right? So did you sort of write that character with, like, yourself in mind, kind of?
Huh. I mean, definitely there's parts of me in every single one of the characters, as it goes with a lot of writers. But yeah, I think definitely there's a lot of my interests are like the things I find fun to do in Sally. Like this summer, I'm recording like a fake ghost hunting show. And just kind of like when I was in high school, we would go to parks in the middle of the night, my best friend and I, and explore. And so it's just kind of like that idea of like sneaking around, of kind of, yeah.
Me and my friends used to walk around at night, but we've recently had to stop because the past 3 times we've done it, we've just been scared.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Really?
Yeah. So the first time we went out, because we used to do this all the time, but we went out and we were walking, one of my friends started talking about, you know what, this is like a horror movie. Any of us could die right now. That'd be really scary. And then some dogs started running out and they broke an invisible fence and they're barking real loud and just chasing us.
Oh,
Oh, God.
So we were like, all right, that's creepy. Next time we're like, all right, let's try and go out again. And we're just hanging out. We decide to go and walk around, and we're in this car park, and this car starts driving in the car park, and it drives right next to us and just parks like 2 stops ahead of us. So we decide, all right, we're going to turn around and leave because that seems creepy.
It was the FBI. I knew it.
Then,
I know it.
The Men in Black.
Yeah.
It could have been anything. We don't know. It just had tinted windows, and we sort of thought,
your memory could have been erased.
Right.
You could have saw them, but your memory could have been erased to the point where you just saw the black cars.
That's true.
Yeah.
We've all done it. And the third time, it was sort of, we were just walking, and the dogs started barking, and they didn't break their fence, but they started barking, they were running, and we're like, all right, you know what? We're not doing this anymore. We're out. Goodbye.
We're out. Goodbye.
This is done. This is over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we there's like a serial killer in Boston right now. Apparently you're like a suspected one. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And yesterday I was like, it's a really good idea. Let me watch Zodiac. Yeah, that didn't go super well for me last night when I was like walking to go get food in the dark by myself.
I mean, Zodiac, actually, it is a pretty creepy movie.
I really liked it. It was really good.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Time? What?
Was it your first time?
Like watching
Zodiac?
Yeah, watching Zodiac. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That's an experience.
It was really good.
Yeah, no, I love...
The person I was watching it with had, like, places to be, but we, like, kept delaying when she was going to leave because, like, it got so involving, and we ended up finishing it and making her super late to her thing she was going to.
Oh, God. Yeah. So did you do any podcasting in high school, or was, like, college the first time you were like, oh, wait, maybe I can do this?
Yeah, so I wrote podcasts in high school. I never, like, made them a reality because I've always really been into audio fiction. Like, in, like, 2013, I think, is when Night Vale was getting really, really big, and I started listening to Welcome to Night Vale, which, like, set me off on this chain of just audio fiction podcasts. But I, like, didn't really have the resources or, like, the actors to make one a reality until I was in Emerson and realized I was like, there are a lot of departments here that could make this, like, really possible and really cool, especially through, like, my involvement with the student radio station. I was thinking about, like, a way to get a lot more people to listen, and I was like, what if I involve majors who, like, wouldn't necessarily access it otherwise through something like an audio drama, which brings in so many people and so much talent from across so many different areas of Emerson.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Is that your major, kind of like something in audio?
I'm a creative writing major.
Oh, okay. So that's where you're thinking of ideas.
Yeah, but I definitely want to continue to do both the Haunted Hour and also a new project this fall, which will be cool.
Okay. Do you want to say you want to tease anything about the new project, or?
Oh, it's
Is it still a secret?
I'm not being coy for because it's some big secret. It's just because it's not totally developed yet.
Oh yeah, I know what that's like.
You should have just said it was a secret. Add that level of mystery to it.
What? Wait, what?
If you said it was a secret, there would have been like some mystery to it.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, it's like, you know how War of the Worlds, like, they made people think it was, like, real, or, like, not on purpose, but people thought it was real while it was broadcasting?
Oh, yes, I love that story.
Yeah. So and they, like, shot the water tower down because they thought it was an alien spaceship. I'm, like, interested in playing on that idea, through, like, the student radio station WCB at Emerson, and I want to, like, pitch a show where it's, kind of a real-time audio drama where I'll have like a single actress or two actors like experiencing hauntings in the radio station. I think it would be really fun.
That's like a really fun idea.
Yeah, that sounds like damn. It's like
it's like interesting.
Casting call.
Oh, good. I'll see that.
Heck yeah! No, yeah.
Again.
Yeah, I'm already getting the creeps.
Tell the story.
What, the Cheeto story?
The Cheeto story, or like just like I don't even know. I feel like that summarizes your vibe on the Haunted Hour pretty well.
I do want to hear this. Can we tell the Cheeto story? Is that like a
it's just really kind of like yeah, we were just auditioning some people for the Haunted Hour, and I just brought some Cheetos and was eating them throughout some auditions.
Yeah, it was like George was like hot shit, like leaning back in the chair, like eating cheesy puffs and kind of like casting judgment on the people who were trying out, including Harrison, who is his friend, but who also became Drew on the show.
It was mainly just people I knew who were auditioning when I was doing that.
Oh yeah, no, it was hilarious. I feel like it like summarizes what we do on the show really well.
Did that help in the audition? Was that like kind of like something you were going for in Charlie?
Well,
and you...
No, it was so it wasn't for my I was already cast. This was for part 2. And I didn't really do it when they were speaking. Like I was trying to be respectful when they were actually auditioning.
Yeah.
Because like I'm an actor too, and I know like if you're auditioning someone sitting like crunching a bag of Cheetos, that's distracting and annoying.
Yeah. So
and
you would which you would never do in real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like it was really just like during pauses, like when they weren't acting, and I was very lucky. There's only really people I knew there, so I didn't feel like super rude, like when they were just talking to me and stuff, eating. Because I was like, I see you guys every day. Because I think someone who I didn't know came in, and I actually just like put it down and sat like patiently, respectfully, because I was like, I don't want to make this awkward.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was I had like sent Allie. I can't even remember now, but like something on Instagram. I think I had DM'd Allie something because like we knew we were gonna cast her during that audition when she was coming in for her like final callback. And the like notification came through as somebody else was auditioning, but I'd sent it earlier. So like Allie looks up and thinks I'm like on my phone DMing her like while someone else was auditioning, and I was horrified because I was like, she's gonna think I'm being so disrespectful, like she's not gonna want to be on the show. I just was like freaking out, and we just made this like really tense eye contact, and I was like, oh fuck.
Which character did Allie play again?
Awkward.
Allie is Sally. Allie's the main character.
Oh, Sally. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you got to some really good. There's some really like amazing dramatic points when it was like I think it was Peter who was like. He was like, I don't know if I want to do this, and Sally was like, you don't want to do the monster log anymore? Like that was like, that kind of was like a really like powerful moment.
Thank you. No, it's been really cool. So, for the back half of season, or part 1 and then, part 2, I, had been working with the actors and was kind of writing while also, recording and editing the first episodes, so it kind of let me see how the actors were voicing the characters, and like so much of Peter and Sally's dynamic and kind of the way that Charlie acts was born from the way I was like recognizing how the actors were taking the roles, and it was like a really cool collaborative process just to kind of build to those points of tension naturally. It's just been really fun.
Yeah, no, I really felt it. Really.
Yeah. I mean, I truly am like really wowed by oh my gosh, by George, by Karthik, by Ali, like all the time. I also have to be really careful not to like say their character names because I definitely fuck that up kind of a lot. But yeah, and like
yeah, I think you have. You've called me Charlie once or twice.
Did I? Oh, I definitely have, like in real life also.
Yeah.
How do you how do you direct an audio? Because it says written and directed by Ellinor Bonifant. And I was kind of wondering how does that work? Kind of like when they're recording, are you just kind of giving tips of like you should say it this way, or how do you kind of like when you think of director, people think of like video director, or you're like directing the shots of something. So like how does it work in terms of like what's like just audio?
Yeah, so I'm sure George can like also weigh on this because he's experienced it firsthand. But
I can pitch in a bit.
What? Oh,
I said I can pitch in a bit.
Word. Yeah, a lot of what I focus on, because like I hadn't really directed anything up until this show, is like the one thing I know is like not to read people's lines to them and like give them a direct read of like exactly what you want. So a lot of what I do is it's like very helpful to be the writer in that I kind of can think about exactly what I think the character motivations are, which I think is what any director does, though I can't say with a lot of authority. And like I'll kind of say the motivation behind a line rather than actually like giving how I want the line to be read. To kind of like direct the dramatic build in any scene. But it's definitely a lot of trial and error. Like it's my directing style has shifted a lot, and it has been helped a lot by the actors who are actually like studying this craft in school and like can definitely give me pointers, which is super nice and helpful.
Do you do a lot of improv in the recording, or is it mostly like to script?
I think honestly the person who does the most improv is probably George, in like the best way.
Yeah, I can see that. I could definitely like when I'm hearing it going on, like I can definitely tell like this can't be all written.
Yeah, we do live editing scripts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of it, but like I know like George will throw in extra swears sometimes, or like the Ouija board scene, like part of that was improv. Like it's not a regular thing, but it's definitely something that we're like open to when we're recording.
Yeah, it sort of comes about because like we're all goofing off.
Yeah.
And then
oh my gosh! Well, it's really nice that like, yeah, everyone pretty much gets along on the cast and crew, which is super nice and makes it like a really fun environment to be in.
Especially since we're all cramped into that one room.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you've seen kind of the cast photos, but like it's truly, it's like a broom closet, and we'll have like 5 or 6 people in there at any given time, and then like all our recording equipment, and also like a Mac and like a chair.
Do you all record at the same time?
Anyone who's in a scene is recording together. We don't have like a 2-mic setup. We usually just float a mic between 2 people. But that's probably going to change this semester because we have some people who are abroad on the cast.
Oh, so how's that going to work? Do they just send you their lines?
Yeah, so we're either going to have them record their lines solo, or we'll do like a Skype call and we'll each have separate mics, and then we can like sync up that audio. But that's something that I'll have to talk to Chad about to see what's going to be best for him. Okay,
that sounds cool though. I'm really excited for the future of this podcast. It was the first ever sort of serial podcast I've ever listened to. So it was a little.
I'm honored.
It was a little weird at first. But then, like, I got into it, and the second half, I'm telling you, the second part, like, kind of became really batshit insane. Because it was because I was like, damn, she's a vampire, or she's a werewolf.
Yeah, there's no vampires on the show.
Yeah, no vampires in the Haunted Hour. That is one solid rule. There will never be vampires on the Haunted Hour.
Wait, really? Vampires?
Yeah, why is that a rule?
Because there are so many other like projects at Emerson that have vampires, and it's been done, you know. It's like I can find my own thing, you know.
Yeah, that's respectable.
I don't know. Yeah. Vampires. I guess what if you had like a crossover with a different podcast that had vampires, and it was like you guys did like a werewolf vampire battle. To the death.
What if you
the
want to
only way
cross
I would
over with
do-
your band?
Oh,
The
Jesus.
band.
Oh no.
Like the
The only reason I would do
Scooby-Doo
like
episode.
vampires would be like if I can think of something really creative to do with them, if I can like world build with them, I'll do them. But like for right now, I'm just like totally dry on ideas for vampires. But a Scooby-Doo episode would be sick.
What are some?
Well,
'cause it
I'm
seems-
thinking like Scooby-Doo has the Twisted Sisters or whatever.
Oh yeah.
What's the
Spectrum?
band? Yeah, that.
Twisted Sisters is
How
a
did I
real
get the
band.
name so wrong? I'm so glad that you
Okay.
know what I'm talking about here, at least. But like,
Oh, yeah.
you could just throw in your own band and that sort of role.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
it's
that
the
actually
members
was
of the
something that
band.
we were thinking about. We were gonna get a band to like. The plotline of this next season was originally very, very different, and there was going to be like a Halloween punk band that was involved, but it just like, as I was writing it, it felt like thematically wrong for the show, so that's kind of shifted, but it might become like a separate project, like a short film or something.
Yeah, speaking of like
well,
ideas.
that makes sense.
Yeah, what other ideas? What have there been a lot of ideas that you've thought of in like, this is too much. We can't do this. Is there how many ideas of like kind of like those are come up when you're like kind of writing the show?
So yeah, originally the structure of the show was very different. There are a lot of places in Lantern that like I've established and like thought about and kind of world built, but haven't entered the show yet, just because there hasn't been like a realistic space for them to be. Like there was going to be, so like Makeout Cove, the Ballad of Makeout Cove, like I have an idea for like why that sound happens and like what that's linked to, and that was going to be a whole other plot line in season 2, but it just felt like too much to chew in a short amount of space. So like there's that originally too, like each episode, and I'm using air quotes, but this is an audio medium, so I'm realizing that's like useless. Each episode was originally like 2 monologues, so it would just be like one person like reading a monologue about like doing a thing. Like Charlie was all that existed of Charlie was like a really extended and different version of the scene where he's like in the car driving to work. That was like his whole character, and so it would be like 2 monologues from each character separated by episodes to kind of give the beginning and the end of the story.
I bet
and
George
then
would like that.
What a monologue!
I mean,
Just 20-minute long
like
monologue,
talk.
just you talking.
I could talk for 20 minutes, honestly. Just give me the mic and I'll just say some stuff.
yeah, there are like a good amount of like long lines in the show, and so like definitely when people were auditioning, I was like, here's like a really long line. I just want to see if this is like something you're comfortable with, because I know that's like technically bad script practice, but it's gonna be in the show. Sorry.
Yeah, if you need like inspiration for a monologue, they just did this episode. I don't know. Do you watch the show BoJack Horseman?
I've seen a little bit of BoJack Horseman. I'm meaning to watch more of it.
They do this episode called Free Churro, and it literally the entire episode is a 20-minute or 25-minute long monologue of just BoJack talking.
Love that.
It's been done. It can be done.
It's pretty good too. It's like one of the best episodes because it's just him talking to you for 25 minutes, and like it doesn't have any flashbacks or cutaways. It's just focused on him, an animated horse man.
Animated horse, just like grieving and talking about Ted Danson.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. As I was writing it, I just felt like it worked better in the like back and forth multiple characters live action kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
But only for the show. But like monologue stuff works really well and is really cool. Like there's have you ever listened to Dream Boy? I guess I'm asking George because I guess this was your first audio drama listen through.
I don't think so.
It's okay. It's a really good. It's by like Night Vale Presents. It's like this really cool horror musical thing. But they mix like monologue and then live action really well, and that's the dream. That's like the coolest combo I've seen.
You said Dream Boy, right?
Yeah, Dream Boy.
Is that a podcast?
I'm gonna write that down.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely.
By Dane Perry and Ellie Heyman, if I'm remembering correctly. Super sick, super cool. Also very graphic, but very good.
Yeah, Dream Boy. stuff. I'll have to check that out. Well, this was a lot of fun. I hope you had a fun time.
Yeah, that was very
Yeah,
cool.
it was great talking to you.
Yeah.
Great talking to you guys.